Hi everybody, welcome back to this channel. So ever since I posted my last video, which has been a while ago, our bitch Demi Lovato did what she was born to do and threw on us her best album to date, the glorious Dancing with the Devil, The Art of Starting Over, which by the way is not only an album, it's a cultural reset, it's a lifestyle, it's the oxygen you breathe, it's art, it's everything everyone ever wanted, and now we're finally happy. But seriously, this album is a masterpiece. And since we got all of that, we need to discuss something about it, right? And in this video, I'll tell you about Demi's current voice, and how it was and how it is changing. Alright, so let's start from the bottom, Demi's lower range. We all know how inconsistent Demi's low notes has always been, and to prove that, I'm gonna show you two clips from way back then. On the first one, she perfectly projects a C-sharp 3, while on the other one, she's hitting an F-sharp 3, but we can barely hear her.
Stars just passing by.
Even with inconsistencies, her lower range is not bad actually. She's able to project down to F3 and sometimes lower than that most of the times.
Stone cold. Say I'm the only one. If I'm too tight.
And Demi also had a lot of other C-sharp 3s before her 2018 hiatus as well. Now let's talk about her current lower range. In the album, I was actually shocked with the amount of low notes she was hitting and projecting so well.
I'm gonna change you. My innocent. Yeah, I think it's alright. See, end of me. What I need right now.
And we have the same situation live, even though she didn't perform that much.
I wanna be the one you look up to when you wanna run. Alright, yeah. I talk to shooting stars, but they always get it wrong.
We can definitely say Demi had some improvements in this area. She's also reaching her 30s soon, which means her voice will really slowly become bigger and lower within the years. But to be honest, I don't really think the effects of that will appear anytime now. On the other hand, her belting range has become so much brighter and less shrill compared to Tell Me You Love Me. We are going to compare a lot in the next minutes. I dare say this is the most open she's sounded in the latest 7 years, maybe, on her mid-belts. And by open, I'm not necessarily meaning resonant, I'm meaning this. And also this. I'm gonna talk more about live vocals in the end, so let's limit ourselves to studio only for now. Her upper belting range.
How do I even begin to explain?
Her upper belting range. I don't think her tone up there ever sounded that good. She used it to sound really chipmunky in the Tell Me You Love Me era, even though I absolutely adore her upper belts those years. Don't get me wrong, this is not a drag. Now you can see how much strong and at the same time tender and metallic her notes from F5 and above are sounding.
Just be careful, love ain't simple,
since 2018, Demi also became way more comfortable with the B-flat 5 belt at the top of her belting register, as we're gonna see now.
It's just a word. Yeah, 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 yeah. Half of me, part of me. Unless I'm looking at me. Yeah, I'm with my.
Like, come on, we just watched Demi belting this shit 5 times in the past 2 years in studio. And that's more often than any other time during her career, so I think it's safe to say she's slowly expanding her range and mastering this note. All the current notes we just watched are way fuller and brighter than before. Almost like a metallic sound, as I said before, that Demi is able to put into them now. In my humble opinion, her head voice and falsetto are still the same as previous years. She's still using it gracefully and not that much as always.
Please handle me carefully. No, I'm in a good. You in a great. You don't think I see much, but at least I still had me. They gave me tissues, thank God for my friends. God grant you wish. We're in a state of crisis, people are.
She dodged some head voice notes in the past weeks, but we're gonna talk about that later. Her tone is still light as Tell Me You Love Me era, and I don't think there's really much to comment about that since it didn't really change that much, except in upper belts as we already discussed.
Your body's looking good tonight. I'm thinking we should cross. I don't wanna wake up one day and I know my face.
Her vibrato, in my honest opinion, is getting better. I don't hear Demi doing that uncontrolled tremolo she was known for that many times as ones she used to do in the past. We are quickly going to check it out some of her best vibrato moments, just so we can have an idea of how she's shaping it into her current vocal state.
Be true. Praying for better days. It's so hard.
Every Sunday, so she knew her.
I'm California summer. Going party's over. Anyway, Lord, is there anyone? Someone? Oh.
Her agility was already so much better doing Tell Me You Love Me tour, and honestly, I don't know if it's the same or better now, but the thing is, we can clearly see Demi still making less mistakes while riffing, and her runs are honestly way less sloppy and more accurate compared to before.
Yeah, time to get
I know just what to say right now.
Now let's talk about my favorite topic. Her belting range live. First things first, I personally believe Demi was suffering with vocal tiredness earlier this year for redoing and correcting the vocals for her new album God knows how many times. And since her What Other People Say performance on Ellen with Sam Fisher, I've been noticing her upper belts have been sounding more chesty and heavier than usual. During the album release week, all the performances around Dancing with the Devil and The Art of Starting Over, we could notice Demi pushing some notes way harder than we were expecting. Just so we can compare, look how much more closed and deep her high notes in Okay Not to Be Okay sounded in her latest performance, and also look how harder she pushed herself to an apparent limit on the Tell Me You Love Me performance on the same day. Also, her tone on the mid-bouts became so much rounded, fuller and deeper. And we even have some major vocal dodges, whether in upper bouts or even in head voice, as I said before. Some people on Twitter were also saying she was dealing with a sinus infection while promoting Dancing with the Devil live, and honestly, it makes sense. Look at the difference in the A's Demi hits the high note in the Art of Starting Over on the TikTok concert compared with the Tiny Desk one, which was recorded some days after. Demi was probably really sick because days after she delivered some clean vocals with an impressive ace while hanging around with her friends and having fun. But I must say, even though she wasn't at her best vocally, the high note in Dancing with the Devil with the instrumental gets me every time. Now, forgetting all that vocal tiredness and stuff, when Demi is fully rested, let's see what she's able to do.
Like I'm made of glass, like I'm made of paper, like a skyscraper.
So that was it for today, guys. I feel like I talked about everything I needed, and I really hope Demi takes some vocal rest, at least for some weeks, so we can see her delivering full force vocals on the next performances. I see you next video, and I hope you all enjoyed watching this one.